Okay, last time I was on the end of page 3, going into page 4, so I'm just read the last line from page 3 and just keep it going from there. You're not very smart, are you? I just came out of a pit of lava and more importantly, hell, so you'll have to do a lot more than that to get rid of me, mortal. Damas explains. As both ninja take a short recess, as all of their wounds heal and their clothes begin to restitch themselves thanks to their new otherworldly powers. Daraku, now we end this. Gaikotsu was unable to fully end his sentence due to a fiery burning sensation in his throat, which he tries to fight back down inside of him, but Daraku clearly saw this as a time to use to his advantage. Daraku rushed Gaikotsu while throwing his sickle towards his left eye and nearly pierces him while Gaikotsu fights his urge to vomit but is overwhelmed by the feeling and suddenly breathes fire as if he were a dragon, and he engulfs Daraku with it and appears to have won. Great fire release, Gaikotsu, and I think that one was called Roaring Flame, or at least that's what I'm going to call it. Gaikotsu pauses for a minute while he realizes that he did one of the fabled greater jutsu of his ancestor, and it was something that only the greatest ninja could achieve. Arigato, Uchikatsu. But by chance, do you know how many jutsu there are? I know almost all of them myself, but your body and mind can't handle that right now. Well, how can I improve? Gaikotsu stops his thought as he hears Daraku's wicked laugh coasting through the wind. Then as they then as the smoke and ash clears, it's revealed that Daraku's clothes were burned, but his body is unscathed. I do believe if I wasn't on your right hand right now, you would have lost. Damas informs Daraku. Uchikatsu. Why didn't I kill Daraku? An enraged Gaikotsu exclaims and begins to distance himself from Daraku. Oh, I forgot. All fire-based moves don't harm the user while they're wearing Damas. My apologies. Daraku smiles and counters with a water wind release, Raging Typhoon, which summons water at a high speed and velocity around Daraku's left arm and begins to drill through Gaikotsu, or so he thought. After a few seconds of drilling, the water and wind slow down and eventually evaporate into thin air. Gaikotsu, wind and water can't phase you. Uchikat shouts. Gaikotsu responds swiftly with a gruesome headbutt to Daraku's overly exposed head. The ground and gravel begins to float in the air as if there were no gravity in the reaction to this immense power on the battlefield. Daraku! Gaikotsu yells as if his voice is going to pierce through the heavens as he advances to his opponent and viciously beats him and strikes devastating blows as he fractures Daraku's skull and breaks 3 of his ribs. But he stumbles and falls midway through his onslaught. Daraku stands proud as he sees that the poison is taking effect and Gaikotsu will shortly die. Gaikotsu, why don't you give up now? All you're doing is speeding up the poison in your blood with all this fighting. Just face it. You are going to die, and your clan will lose. But if you give up now, I'll defend your honor and respect you in death. But let everyone know you were defeated by a superior warrior. Yours truly. So what do you say, the mighty Gaikotsu of the Kuragari? Go to hell, Daraku. Gaikotsu picks himself up and regains his stance and continues the fight. I just might, guy. I just might. Daraku looks down at his right hand, down at Damas and wiggles him. The battle was greatly in Daraku's favor, being that Gaikotsu's attacks no longer have any effect, and Daraku is having his way with him, and sends him flying into a twin open palm hit to the chest. Well, I've grown immensely tired of you and your lackluster performance, Gaikotsu. Daraku thrusts Damas into the ground and emits a red shock wave that resurrects all of his fallen Yokoshima. Mortals, behold, the mass resurrection jutsu. This jutsu is just a fraction of my power. Damas makes a small chuckle of his own with this feat of power. Gaikotsu slowly regains his footing and strides back into the battle. He quickly and easily defeated all the returning Yokoshima, but notice as he strikes them down, they would immediately get up quicker and stronger. I gotta give it to you, Gaikotsu. You're a very skilled warrior, and I probably would never beat you one-on-one. But then again, I cheat, so I probably could have if I found a way. Duraku re-examines Damas and confesses that this, with no end to this undead army, Gaikotu saw his demise approaching. Gaikotsu's vision is failing him, and he was almost completely blind at this point. Yoshikatsu, I'm glad you got to help me to get to this point, but I fear I'm at the end of my road. It is fine, master, for I know that you will be remembered for a legend, and you will be needed again. Well, I don't know what you're talking about, but let's finish this. Let's finish Duraku with a non-fire jutsu this time. Can do, sir. Gakotu and Yoshikatsu are in full agreement in his final moments. Water-style high-pressure blade. Yoshikatsu and Gaikotu's voice synchronized into two layered voices. Guy, isn't that the jutsu I just used on you earlier? Not exactly, Duraku. Mine's a lot stronger. Gaikotu's left eye was now whited out, as he was now blind in that eye, but it didn't matter to him because he could see Duraku in his right eye, and his left hand was covered with a 200-mile-per-hour water blade that extended 6 feet long, and knowing he could still fight was all that mattered. Gaikotu now rushed Duraku in an uncanny similarity to how Duraku rushed him before. He had quantum speed and smoothly evaded all those who opposed him and destroyed all that managed to touch him as if he were Bo Jackson during the game of Tecmo Bowl. But they would still follow him and throw anything in their reach. Gaikotsu reached Duraku so fast that his brain couldn't even grasp the speed, but it mattered little since he would lose his mind and his head was very quick to leave his shoulders. The victory gave Gaikotsu no time to celebrate, whereas the immortal soldier's weapons were already in pursuit of him, and Gaikotsu was brutally impaled 9 times, and one soldier sliced him in half at the waist as the resurrected bodies fell to dust as the jutsu ended. So then it would seem the clan that prevailed would be the Kurogari, being that Gaikotsu beheaded Duraku before his untimely death, but where the Kurogari were noble and righteous, they weren't too keen on repopulating, and the clan that truly won was the Yokoshima, being that there is strength in numbers. But after both ninja being defeated, the gloves, Damas and Yoshikatsu were sent across the world to find those of pure heart and those of pure hatred, to see who was truly strongest. So over the years, Damas and Yoshikatsu both had masters and lost to each other many times over. The wielders of the gloves were of many ages, races, nationalities, genders, countries, cultures, religions, and walks of life, but they cannot be at their full potential until they are wielded together. Wielded by very few souls that will be accepted by both gloves and show the world the power it has never seen before. But there is still one question. Who is stronger, the Yokoshima or Kurogari? And that's, so I went to page 7. So that was page 4 to 7. And the story really starts after that. So yeah, that was kind of like an intro, prelogue sort of thing. And then the real story goes from there. But yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. I will pick that up on page 7.